I could talk about social media all day, every day. So I have a lot of things. Feel free to interrupt and ask questions at any time. So my name's Morgana Lebold. I own Red Door Consulting. We just celebrated 10 years this year, so I'm very excited. You know, I started out on the consulting side. I really dove into the social media side because that is my jam. I love it so much. So I work with nonprofits and small businesses doing, you know, I will train their teams on how to do social media, or I do social media for them. But really strategy is where I'm strongest. So building out a strategy that you can stick to, so then, you know, you can thrive on social media, because it changes all the time and it can get incredibly frustrating if, you know, it's a lot. It can easily be a full-time job. So I know some of you have said a couple things like that. So we are going to talk about how to stay consistent without posting 24/7. I think that what happens is with social media in general, it gets very overwhelming. And so what most people will do is they either like go all in and start posting all the time and they get burned out very quickly, or get completely overwhelmed and then they just don't post at all. We'll cover like a very simple content system that you can take and use right away, how to stay organized, what to capture throughout your week. And then again, any kind of questions you guys have either today or after, I'm here for that. Building trust. And that's probably one of the biggest things I'm going to hit on, is building trust on social media, because that's really what it's about. It's about getting people to know you outside of your logo or your brand. There's a lot of really fun ways that you can do this. It's probably where people get hung up the most, is they think that, oh, this doesn't directly relate to my business. This is maybe too fluffy. Maybe somebody doesn't care. Picking post topics, there are strategic ways to do this, but I would encourage you, ladies, to take pictures and videos of literally everything, and post everything. Catherine does a really good job of this. So if you look at Catherine's feed, she's posting everything. She posts about her clients. She posts about events that she's at. We'll post about like things that we do that are fun, like golfing. It can be everything. But one of the biggest things is providing value to your followers. So quality over quantity is the biggest thing. Most of the guidance that you'll see out there, like if you're trying to grow, and I hate the term going viral because it's incredibly hard, especially on the business side. If you're a creator, easier. But it's really important to focus on the quality of your content. The algorithms especially are prioritizing quality over quantity. So it doesn't matter if you're posting 2 times a week or if you're posting 2 times a day, as long as everything provides value. So the algorithms are looking, and this is across the board, they're looking for like education, tips, ways that you can actually improve people's lives, as opposed to just treating social media as like a free bulletin board. Back in the day, this was not the case. So, you know, when social media first came out, everybody used it as like basically posting promotions, you know, sales, specials, events, stuff like that. Every single algorithm now, and when I say algorithm, I'm just talking about like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. I don't really mess with Twitter. So is anybody on Twitter?
Or X.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't call it that.
I know,
It'll always be Twitter.
Yeah.
Every single platform is going to look, because they have bots, right? And so they're looking through all of the content and they're deciding, is this promotional? And if it is overly promotional, they will actually hinder your reach and engagement. They won't serve it to as many people. What they're looking for is for social media to be like truly social. And what's funny is when I first started the business, I called this like the H to H, so H2H, human to human connection, because that's really what it's supposed to be. So every time you post, it's so much more important to look at, am I providing value? Is this going to be interesting? And is this authentically me? Or is this entirely self-serving? So I would encourage you to go more, it's like an 80-20. If you can do 80% personal, 20% promotional, that's a good mix. I use a tool, I wrote Ask the Public, I think it's Answer the Public. You can sign up for free, you'll get 3 free searches a day. But this will give you search volume, keywords, it'll give you AI suggestions, it'll give you cost per click if you're running Google ads. I went on there, I typed in social media for business. So then I can see search volume is high. So it's like 1,000. And then cost per click, if I were to run Google ads, is about $9.11 per click, which is considered low. You can do this for every industry, but what's really cool, and I like completely nerd out on this stuff. So this will give you, and I know this is really small, but like this is my keyword that I put in. It'll show you like how to manage social media. These are all things that people are searching for. So that's where you can find really good topics for your industry specifically. How to start social media for business, how to boost social media, how to build social media, how to promote social media, how to use social media. So like I would want to take one of these topics and then I could talk about this. So insert your industry, right? I could say, I could do videos on how, this is how to boost. This is how to start a social media business. This is how to create social media content. This is how to create a social media strategy. So these are things that people are actively looking for, which is super valuable because this is also providing a lot of value. And so if you're making content and you're inserting these keywords into your copy, and let's see if you do, does anybody feel really comfy doing videos? Well, yes. Anyone besides, well, and I don't mean, because it's just obvious, like the younger generation is so much more comfortable with videos.
I make her be in the videos.
Oh, good. Yeah.
She's her on camera.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes
That's perfect.
Do you make videos of like event, like, or videos of like content?
Like you talking.
Yeah. Okay.
All the platforms are prioritizing this.
So is an example, like say whatever a search engine is, it's that topic, then you just take that topic, do a blog post and then a video, and then you're posting that everywhere? Is that
Mhm.
what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, I like that. So if you can do a blog and you can do a video and then you can do like a static post, you're just taking one piece of content and then repurposing it. What I like about blogs, and I've seen a couple really successful businesses do this, is they will write out their blog, they'll put it on their website, it sounds like them, and then they record a video or a podcast and they're basically just reading the blog. And then you can take that. There are some really awesome video editors that will take, if you, let's say you do like a 3-minute or a 10-minute or a 15-minute video, they will automatically clip them into smaller segments. You would take something, write a blog, read that blog on video, like try to sound like you're not reading, and then record that, put it into an AI editor, which I'll share with you guys. And then you have 2 pieces of content and then 10 or 15 clips that you can post later. Tell me your industry again so I can give a real example.
Internet-based marketing.
Okay. What's a common question that you get from a customer or a client?
Just what is it, like the details,
Like what do you do?
like what do I do?
Okay.
That kind of thing.
See, that's perfect. So you could do a blog post, which is great for SEO, and AEO is the AI version of SEO, which is actually kind of taking over that. So you could do a blog post about what it is that I do. You could read that, record it, and then snip that into a whole bunch of different topics or a whole bunch of different smaller clips. And then you have maybe 15 pieces of content. You post the video one day and then you post your shorter clips and you just schedule those out. It feels weird to post about the same thing over and over, but not everyone is going to see everything that you're posting. So it doesn't matter. You can count on reaching like 5% of your followers at any given time, like especially on Facebook and Instagram. Is everybody just on Facebook and Instagram? LinkedIn?
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay. I would also encourage you guys to look at analytics. Every platform has a free analytics. It's called Insights on Facebook and Instagram. That's inside Business Manager. And I think on LinkedIn it's called Insights too. So you can see what your reach is, what your engagement is. And what I do is I have no feelings about what I post. You look at your analytics and you see if the reach is good and if the engagement is good. If the reach is good, it means the algorithms like your content and that it's valuable. If your engagement rate is good, which on LinkedIn, like between 2 and 5% is a good engagement rate. Facebook and Instagram, if you're under 10,000 followers, is everybody under 10,000 followers? Then it's about 1%, which seems very low. So, but if you're looking at your stuff and you go, oh my gosh, this video should have hit or this post should have hit, and I thought that it was going to do really well, just look at your numbers and only pay attention to that and take all of your feelings out of it and just say, you know, if you find that something works well, just double down on that.
Else is engagement.
So comments, likes, and shares.
Comments, likes, and shares.
Mhm. Yeah, and most of the algorithms are prioritizing shares right now. So that's really what they're looking for like good engagement. And every time you get more likes and shares and comments, it'll cause the platforms to push out your content even more.
How often should you share? I know sometimes I go in and I'll just share a bunch of things all at once.
That's
Should
a
I be
great
doing that
question.
every-
A good rule of thumb is once a day tops on Facebook until you get over 10,000 followers. And I've tested this a bunch. If you post more than once a day on Facebook, on your business page specifically, your second post will perform worse. So it just doesn't reach as many people. So yeah, it's just not really worth
So
it.
like I have somebody who's doing some posts for me,
Mm-hmm.
and if I decide I wanna post on the same day, whatever the second post, like nothing really.
Yeah,
happens.
On
They-
the business page specifically?
Mm-hmm. One post a day.
So for like the question like that you put in, like do you just write social media for business or do you put your industry there?
This is all I did. I just you can put in any kind of keywords.
So like for me, I would say like this is something ADHD related.
Yeah. Give me a keyword for you.
ADHD.
ADHD
I don't
life
have
skills. I signed up for the paid one because I'm just going to geek out on this. But if you want to do the 3 free searches, you know, just like screenshot it, make a little spreadsheet, and that's all your content, right? And if you only have to post once a day, that's 30 posts a month. So it's not insane. Life skills for ADHD adults, life skills for people with ADHD. And I can tell you, I post some ADHD content and people love that. So people are always looking for like tips and tricks and things like that. Life skills for ADHD kids. So yeah, you can see all those. But then it'll also give you AI prompts. Does everybody use AI for content creation or? Okay. So I love Claude. Yeah, it's the best.
I
Um,
heard Oprah's recent podcast with the Claude owners, you definitely should check it out.
Oh
It
yeah.
will make you an even bigger fan of Claude.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love Oprah. So you could take like, if you do use AI, you could take this and go best apps for managing ADHD life skills and say, hey, Claude, or whatever you use, write me a blog about this. And it'll also give you organic searches. So that's just things that people are just typing into Google, right? Life skills for people with ADHD, life skill toolkit for success, keywords. If you're writing about something like teaching life skills to children and teens with ADHD, you want to insert that into your blog or into your content so that's more easily findable. I love this tool so much. So really good if you're like stuck on content and you don't really know like how am I going to provide value. Love this. You could also ask Chat or Claude, say, give me relevant post topics for my industry. Here's a sample Claude prompt, just because I love Claude. What are the top 10 questions new customers ask in your business before they decide to hire them or buy? Okay, so knowing what to post. I know we talked about this a little bit. Everything can and should be content. Literally everything. The beauty of this is if you just get super comfy with just taking pictures of everything, you're really good at this. I've been in this industry forever and I still I get like I don't want to be that person. Nobody cares. So just take pictures of everything. And I put these examples like I love a time lapse. Time lapses are so easy. It should be on every single phone, regardless of what you have. And you can do, it doesn't capture audio, which is fantastic. So if you see any of mine, I like talk to myself a lot when I work. So it's just me like, blah, 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 blah. But like people love that stuff because it's kind of like a peek into how you work. If you have a team meeting, that could be a really good time lapse, or a video, you take the audio out, even just pictures of team meetings, every single networking event, selfies. Like it feels odd if you're not used to it. People want to get to know you and they want to see your face. And I'm sure you guys do a lot of things. So just document everything. You don't have to use everything and you don't have to post everything, but at least you have it. It's really about being authentic. So you don't always have to be polished. You don't always have to have makeup on. It doesn't have to be perfect. People want imperfection. So
More relatable.
it is. Yeah.
I'm having a dilemma in my brain about the line between just watching someone work or watching a meeting go by real fast or something and the word value. When you
Yes.
say value and content, I have always asked why. Why would
Mhm.
someone even be interested in this before I post something? So
Yeah.
I'm struggling with that all the time.
Yeah. So for me, I try to make it more valuable in the copy. Like a team meeting or even a client meeting could be something about, I'm meeting with a new client today. I'm so excited to like be able to help brands with, finding their voice. So it's a little bit promotional. And when I say promotional, it's really like if you're saying at the end of your copy or at the end of your text on your post, saying call me, book now, leading to like an outside link, that's where the bots are really gonna like say, oh, this is promotional. It is a little bit different than providing value, but you're showing who you are. So it's more like on the authenticity side than the providing value side. And then on team meetings, I like to do those because it shows like a group of people coming together for one common purpose. And again, it's odd. People don't need to know exactly what's going on, but they love to take a peek behind the curtain. So, we're nosy. We just want to see like what's happening behind the scenes. So it might not be that you're providing a tip or providing something like specific for them to work on, but you're showing like who you are, who your team is, and how you do your work. Every single business, and your followers are going to be different from your followers and be different from your followers. So you want to be able to look and say like, okay, maybe, and this is where analytics is so important. You look and see, what did this post have in it? How long was the text? How long was the video? Was it a video or a picture or a graphic design? Did it have a link in it? Did I have a call to action? Because everybody's going to be slightly different. And maybe your audience likes those links, right? And maybe you test the link and comment versus the link in the post and see which one works better. That's what's so fun about this. There's no rule that works for everybody. I have so many doodads, you guys. So like, I have a little stand there. I'm filming this so that I can hopefully like repurpose it for YouTube. It's something like that. Like I would just set a phone, do it on time lapse, which should just be a setting in your camera. And then you just do it for a few minutes, like 10 minutes, and you can turn it off or leave it on forever. It doesn't matter. So, and then cut it down to like, people only want to see like 15 or 20 seconds of it. Yeah.
So time lapse speeds it up, right?
Yes.
But like, so if you didn't videotape it like that, you can still do it with other programs later, right?
Yes. Oh, also, I love like inspirational things. Anything that speaks to you, especially if you're like, for me, I might say something about like getting over your imposter syndrome, and doing like a motivational or inspirational post about that. It doesn't always have to be like so serious. And doing testimonials or wins. If you get Google reviews, those are really great. You can either read those on video and say, hey, thanks so-and-so. You can put them on, a text post. We're all gonna say that we're the best. But that social proof of hearing it from others is so much more valuable. Any event that you host or attend, dear God, take pictures. You're just wasting like an opportunity if you, and again, you take pictures everywhere and everything that you do. You might as well. If you're gonna put yourself out there and you're gonna be at something, take a picture. If you're hosting an event, either have somebody like beautiful Hannah come and take pictures and videos for you so that you can like enjoy your event. If you're being honored at something or an award, like it's worth it to hire somebody to just get it so you can enjoy it and get like some good stuff. And then if you forget, which most of us often do, you can also just take the post from that company and repost that. So like the Women's Chamber, I took 0 pictures of myself at the event, but I took their post about the business luncheon the other day and then I shared it onto my account. So that counts too. And sharing is good because you're engaging. All of the platforms want you to also be active on their platforms. So if you can share every once in a while, it doesn't have to be something that you always create. What you could talk about that provides value. I think one of the most valuable things is things that I wish my customer knew. did a dentist example. I wish clients knew that skipping cleanings doesn't save money. It creates a problem that costs 5 times more to fix later. So like it can be something really small, like a little tidbit. It doesn't, not everything has to be like this huge, long thing. At the end, I have a QR code that I would love you guys to scan, but it's like a printable resource that will have something you can like take with you. You can use it, you can give it to somebody else, and it'll have some accountability things on there to kind of stay on top of everything. Videos will always do better than static posts. And then pictures will always do better than graphic designed posts. And you don't need like a perfect setup in order to do a good video. Again, like I'm such a consumer, so I will buy everything and think it's gonna like change my life. The other day I was recording a video. I have like the stands and the lights. I have all the things. And I basically took that little thing, which is just like a tiny little tripod that hooks up to the back of my phone. And I stacked it on books and I used natural light from my window. And that's what I did for my video. And that was easier and faster than setting up the whole shebang. Like I have a green screen in my office. I have all the lights. I have all the things. I would say if you have the capacity to get like a microphone. Microphones are huge because nobody really wants to listen to a video that has like background noise. It's just a lot easier to hear and it makes you look, more put together and professional. And if you can invest, and they're like $50. And like just a little wireless one, and then it just hooks up to your phone. And then if you can invest in a ring light, those are also like $50. And just lighting and sound is probably the biggest thing when you're recording like official videos. Okay, so for AI, I love AI for speed, but I do have some issues with it. So I think that we should all be embracing AI because this is just what's happening, right? Even if you hate it, like my best friend hates AI. We've recently gotten her to start embracing it, and she is like shocked at how much faster it makes her. But there is a right way and a wrong way to use AI. A lot of people are copying and pasting and not giving AI context. I had a client a couple years ago, they hired a keynote speaker, and the keynote speaker had done zero research about this organization. She said the name wrong like multiple times, didn't know anything about like what we actually did, and it wasn't a nightmare, everything's fixable, but like not great. And that's what I think about when I think about AI with no context. So you can give AI no context and it's gonna spit you out something, but because it's pulling information from the entire internet, you're just gonna end up sounding like everybody else. It's like average corporate marketing speak, which is yucky. Like nobody wants to read that. And there are some new studies out that show AI, because like have you guys seen those AI clones that you can make of yourself? You can make like an AI clone to do your videos for you. Would not recommend. So AI is completely destroying trust with consumers. Consumers want you. They don't want to talk to a computer. They don't want to see a computer. They don't want to look at your copy and immediately think like, oh, AI wrote this. Like I think it's a shortcut that shows that you don't care. So thinking about that, I use AI every single day, but everything has to have that human touch on it. So if you're copying and pasting, don't do that. And it's so easy to spot. I took some screenshots. You can tell emojis, so many emojis. M dashes, the long dashes, nobody uses these in real life.
Well, they do now.
Oh, but you're a lawyer.
I'm such
I
a
know,
nerd.
and
I had to
see,
put it
I'm
Yeah.
an English instructor.
I loved M dashes for a long time, and then somebody told me, they're like, we can tell that you're using AI. And I was like, but I like the M dashes. Like I really loved them and I had to actively stop. But AI loves an M dash, like so much. And again, like with this one, another keyword, weather. AI loves this word so much.
Series of 3.
Yep.
Like that has 4, but typically
Mhm.
it's 3, 3, 3. Like,
Yeah.
I can tell when kids give me an essay and it's got 3, 3, 3. And
Yeah.
then 3, 3, 3, and then 3, 3, 3. I'm like, okay, you used AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so like stuff like this, it's not a bad post, right? Like they're giving you information. They're very like enthusiastic. It's just it's AI, so I don't trust it.
Like I like emoji? Like at the beginning, I
Yeah,
feel like
like-
it breaks it up, so I don't know if that makes it work.
Some emojis are great.
Like not all over the place, but
Mm-mm.
like
This
at the
calendar
button.
one, unnecessary. Like this, maybe like this one and this one, right? Like a couple is totally fine. I am also a fan of emojis. You don't need emojis. It's just more like personal touch, you know? Yeah, and it depends on your business, right? Like I don't use a lot of emojis on women's chamber stuff because we're not like fluffy, right? We're not woo-woo, yeah. So then again, like with this one, M dashes, M dashes, M dashes. It's very easy to spot this stuff once you know what you look for. And what's happening with consumers is they are looking at this. Like when I see an AI post, I just scroll. I don't want to see that. I don't care what the computer said, right? I want to hear from that person. And it does make it feel like you're kind of taking the easy way out. This is a good prompt. And I think this will basically work for everybody, but write a social media post for my business. I am a type of business in city. My tone is, and you can fill in the blank, conversational, friendly, no nonsense, warm, serious. I don't use corporate language or buzzwords. Nobody wants to hear that. All of your posts should be at between like a 3rd and 6th grade reading level. There's some websites that you can use that will show you like what your reading level is on that post. I tended to get, before I learned this, very like, I would use all the buzzwords because I thought it sounded cool, or like I would use all these big things and try to sound smart. People just want it simple. And then you say my audience is, a specific audience, write it the way a real person would talk. So like this prompt would work. And this is if you don't have something set up in your AI. If you have, if you're using AI on a consistent basis, setting up a project for your company is super important because then it'll pull all of that information so that it does sound more like you, so that you're not having to do so much editing on the back end. I have projects for everybody. So every client, including myself and then all my like random ideas, everybody has their own project. So I upload like the brand guidelines, emails, so then they can see my tone. Sometimes I'll upload like a content calendar and say like, these are the things that the client really liked. Claude can also help you to create that, to create like the project outline. So tools that I use for content creation. When we were talking about like if you're filming one video and then clipping it into other things, Repurpose is a really great app that will take all of your clips that you put on one platform, it'll automatically repost them for you. So if you're posting like a lot of content, super valuable. If you're not posting a lot of content and you have the bandwidth, I would encourage you to post directly on the social media platforms. So like what I'll do is I'll make a TikTok. Because I'm trying to make like 3 or 5 videos a day, I don't have the bandwidth to download the videos, take the copy, go on Facebook and Instagram and post those separately. But that would help the reach. Anytime you're posting directly, especially with Facebook and Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, if you're posting directly on those platforms as opposed to using a scheduler, there's a bunch of schedulers out there, or like a Repurpose, it takes that, and because you're not actively using their platform, your reach might be lower. We actually tested this last year at the Colorado State Fair. So because we were so busy, we were doing like 10 videos a day. And so part of them we had to pre-schedule because there just wasn't time. And all of the ones that we went actually inside the app and posted the video directly on Facebook and Instagram did so much better, like so much better. So if you have the time and you're only posting like once a day, I would schedule it on each platform itself. But if you're doing multiple posts a day and you don't have time, it's better to get the content out there and take a little bit of a hit on the reach than to not have it post at all. I record everything on TikTok and then it just pushes out everywhere else. And again, not the best. I don't care because I just need the content out there rather than it doing well every single time. And I'm trying to grow my TikTok more. So there's a strategy, and it's different for every single person, right? If you're really trying to grow like your Facebook and Instagram, I would post right on those platforms and not use a scheduler.
So how
'Cause it'll
do
help.
you know which platform is the best one to post more?
I would say for everybody, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn because it's more business-minded people, right? So everybody should be on LinkedIn. And then Facebook and Instagram, just because everybody's on it. So Facebook, a lot of people are on Facebook just for personal stuff, but there's a chance that you'll, get fed into somebody's feed for your business. Instagram, again, because everybody's on it, there's no reason to not be on it, but Instagram is more visual, real photos, real videos, stuff like that. But you can honestly, you can post the same stuff on Facebook and Instagram and you'd be fine. And yes, so for TikTok, it's so different, which is super fun when you're busy. TikTok, you're reaching a completely different audience. It's a lot of younger people, but more people are getting on it. It's a lot easier to grow. It's a lot easier to go viral. But with TikTok, you watch way shorter videos. So 15 to 30 seconds, you can do longer videos, but usually view time drops off substantially. And TikTok is more of an entertainment platform. So it's really not, it's not great for doing a long educational video. You want it to be fun. Hannah does some really good ones about Run Club. She just does little clips that are really fun. They have great music and it shows or people talking, but they're short, fun videos. And people go on TikTok to be entertained. They don't want to be bummed out. We took Instagram videos and reposted those to TikTok. We downloaded them, put them on TikTok, and they did poorly because they were longer videos with overlays and they were more produced. TikTok is just more authentic, less produced. You don't need overlays. You don't need to get all fancy. CapCut is directly integrated with TikTok and they have so many fun templates. I will spend 5 minutes doing a CapCut template video, and every time I do that, everybody's like, "Oh my God, that video is so good." It's a template. So I would say if you're gonna be on TikTok, adopt those CapCut templates. I think CapCut's free-ish. Depending on the topic, I would say at most 3 minutes, but 30 seconds to a minute. People have very short attention spans.
It's really about people's attention span more than it is the platform. But maybe younger people have an even shorter attention span.
Yeah.
But older people do too.
Mhm.
It's so.
Yeah. And I think, again, it's testing to see when you look at your analytics each month, it'll tell you where that view time dropped off. And you can see what was the topic? Was it a talking head video and people dropped off after a couple minutes? Or was it something of me having fun and that video did better? So the less polished you can be, it used to be that you had to make these polished videos with the overlays and the intro and outro. You really don't have to do that anymore. If you're documenting everything and you're just getting super comfortable with being on camera, it becomes so much faster. And then not everything is gonna do amazing. So removing your feelings from that and just understanding that some things are gonna do well, some things are not gonna do well. And if you only look at the numbers, let's say you do, a talking head video does really well, you go, okay, that's what I do from now on. And then you just double down on that. But you need a couple months. Actually, if you're posting enough, if you're posting 3 times a week, a month, and then you can see what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't work, you just stop doing it, but it's different for everybody and every platform is going to be slightly different. But I look at my analytics, I look at them once a month, but then I can see what does well. Otherwise, you're just kind of flying blind and going off of feelings. Very big on not using feelings with marketing. Because some people just aren't going to like you. They should, because y'all are lovely.
Something called Opus.
I love Opus. Mm-hmm.
So I've taken 10 podcasts
Mm-hmm.
that I was interviewed on and chopped them all up.
Yeah.
And then used those. I have a huge library
Mm-hmm.
that I can throw out a 15-second, 30-second, and it picks kind of the best little snippets of
Yeah.
your talk, and then you
Yeah.
have a link to the podcast for the.
Yeah. I love, so Opus, if everybody didn't hear that, is a really good tool. All about speed, right? Because all of us are busy and it's exhausting to try to run your business and manage people and do your own content. But these are, just ways to be a little bit faster, especially if you're documenting everything. If you just document everything, then you have a library to choose from what you like.
I have a tip to share on the prompt slide.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we had. I've been doing, and especially if you want some really robust answers
Mhm.
that you don't have to go back and forth on.
Yeah.
I always at the end, I'll say, ask me up to 4 questions to help you clarify
I do love that.
what you're needing from me in order to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to limit it because it can go to 20 questions,
Yeah.
right? I want the 4 key questions you need to help clarify what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I love
It's
that.
always great.
Thank you, because that's a really good thing to do.
9:10.
Okay. How long am I supposed to go till? How many?
Forever, Morgana.
Okay,
Yes.
forever.
All day.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yay! All day social media. You don't have to post every day. Okay, so again, quality over quantity. There's a ton of guidance out there about what to do, and most people are gonna be like, post 10 times a day. You don't need to post 10 times a day unless you're able to, and that is specifically for TikTok. Again, like the Facebook will give you the best times to post. They are in Pacific time, which is super cool. So just when you're looking at analytics, it'll tell you like this is when most of your followers are online. But again, experimenting and saying like I love to do like a first thing in the morning post if it's something business related. I'll do like a late night post if it's something personal. Like I don't think the time of day really matters that as much. But posting once a day on Facebook until you get over 10,000 followers. LinkedIn, sometimes I'll do like 2 a day, like 8 a.m., 5 p.m., is kind of solid times, Monday through Friday for LinkedIn. And then Instagram, like once or twice a day, if you can. I'm putting everything on just like, I love stories because it's just another way for people to find you. So if you're posting a video or a photo, a real photo, not really like a graphic design photo, I'm sharing those to stories on Facebook and Instagram is huge, and TikTok. And a lot of people, they'll only look at stories, right? So it just gives you another way to reach more people. You're either trading your time or your money, right? So if you find that you are very, very busy and you really don't have time to do this, because unfortunately, all of us do need to be on social. It's just how it is. Hire somebody. So there's so many things you can do, right? Like you can hire like an assistant. Upwork, Fiverr has people. You can find someone, that like a contractor that works with you. Hire Hannah. And that's all it is. So, I mean, there's just not a way to get around being on social. But like my biggest advice would just be get super comfortable taking pictures of your beautiful faces, getting pictures of people that you interact with, taking pictures and videos of literally everything that you do, even if you think it's boring, and then creating, a content library out of that. So I'll take everything. I upload everything into like a Google Drive. Especially helpful if you have a team because then they can just pull content. And then as I'm putting together, like I'll put together a whole month of content ideas. Just like I call it a content shell. So I'll say, okay, this day I'm going to talk about like give a social media tip. This day I'm going to share about this event that I went to. This day I'm going to share like a personal thing. And I just write that out. So that helps me stay accountable. And then as the month goes by, as I'm getting content, I'll plug that in, like if I were starting out. And then as you get more and more content, you just move forward. So I like to be 4 to 6 weeks in advance because life happens, right? And things get busy. And then all of a sudden you're like, I haven't posted on social media in 2 weeks, right? So and that's the other reason to have more than you need in terms of photos and videos, because it doesn't have to be, you can do like a throwback post. It doesn't have to be like something that's happening right now in order for you to post about it. And I think that's a common misconception where they're like, well, this happened a month ago, so I can't. You absolutely can. And nobody knows, right? Like nobody knows what you're doing right at this moment. I've had to scrap a bunch of content because I changed my hair so much. So like I have all this stuff that I could have used from last year and I'm like, dang it, everyone's gonna know that this is old. But yeah, just if you grab everything and just build a content bank, it takes a month or two and then you just have so many things to pull from. And you could take a picture of yourself and write copy that provides value. Or you could talk about something that is like what we did at the beginning of this, like something that you're looking for in your business or something that you're struggling with or a question that you want to ask people. I think the biggest thing is like not taking it so seriously. Like it can be really fun. creating a system too, just realizing what you can do. So if you can only post 2 times a week, which is totally fine for most businesses, just post 2 times a week and make sure it's valuable. It's better to put out like really solid content twice a week than put out 7 days a week of garbage that nobody wants to see. Give yourself grace and just know that like people want to see you and your people will find you just by being truly authentic and lovely, you know? You just be your lovely selves and then your people will find you. Being authentic on social media is more important than being polished. Also, give it 6 months, okay? So like you'll see if you're not posting at all right now and then you look at your analytics like next month, they're gonna skyrocket. But like give it 6 months and just see what's working, you know, and nix what's not. Do you ladies have questions about anything specific that we could go back over? I'm an open book.
How do you feel about YouTube?
I love YouTube. I didn't really talk about it a lot because it's just one more thing. I love YouTube because your content lives on there forever, right? So TikTok, you're reaching people, but there's so much content out there that you're like, you know, people are just scanning so fast. YouTube gives you the opportunity, especially if you're doing like really valuable like tips or guidance, it lives there forever. So there is an opportunity for like maybe a video doesn't hit right away, but it hits in 6 months because it's just there. So I love YouTube so much, but that one I don't push as hard because it is very time consuming. So like that's one where like you need to make sure you have a mic and good lighting and that you look like a professional. And even if you do it the opposite, like there's 2 people that I really love on YouTube and well, I mean, there's so many people, but 2 of them that have blown up that are very unpolished. One lady just talks about stuff. She has her phone. She's just walking and talking. She doesn't do a thumbnail.
More of those, like
Yeah.
one guy walking on the beach and he's
Mhm.
talking about something really formal, but he's like in his shorts. Walking
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
beach. I'm like, what is it? Who is this guy?
Yeah. So you don't have to be like, yeah.
Who is this guy? Like, what's happening? Yeah.
You don't have to be like sitting there very stiff, right? Like just whatever feels most comfortable to
But I
you.
did judge him.
Well, there's one guy that I follow that he goes into the woods and he just stands there and talks about whatever. And the other way, like if you do want to record more video content, I would encourage, I didn't really talk about this, but batching it, right? So you just set aside like 2 hours a week or 2 hours a month, whatever your bandwidth is, right? And then just film all of your content. Nobody cares if you're wearing the same shirt. You can change your outfit if you want, right? Like, but nobody really cares. Because again, not everybody's going to see every piece of content that you put out. And they don't have to be like super long, 10, 15 minutes if you're going to do YouTube. But what I also like about YouTube is you could do like, 4 or 6 videos, put them on YouTube, repurpose those, cut them up into 10 or 15 different segments. And that's like 2 weeks or 3 weeks worth of content.
Do you have to like post on YouTube on different days, or can you like upload all 6 on your channel and walk away?
I mean, you can, but again, it's better to be consistent. So like, and that's why I like batching too, because like, let's say you have a free week and you can do a bunch of videos, but then the next week you're slammed. You could record like, 4 or 6 videos, schedule them out, and then you have, it's better to just have more than you need than to blast it all out and then be,
The other
silent.
piece of that though, if you've got followers that want to get notified
Yeah.
of new videos, you want to space them out.
Right,
Because
yeah.
they could get all of a sudden you've got 10 videos
And then nothing.
and they won't look at
And
them
they
because
forget
they're
about
too busy.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's-
And that's because you don't want to stay silent for like 3 weeks if life happens, So like doing your content ahead and just having it ready to go is
Well,
good.
what I hate is like now on the YouTube videos, like they put some weird, like, I don't know, like a neon banner or, they look chintzy to me sometimes when they.
Is that something that
Well,
YouTube
just
is
like
adding?
when you look at the thumbnails.
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
and it'll be like some banner, like for me, it will say like essay workshop or something, but it's like
Yeah.
neon pink and it just looks tacky to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's not my vibe at all. But
No.
is there a reason why they're doing that to try to capture? Obviously, it must
Yeah,
work. or
Because
people
they're
wouldn't
using
do it.
keywords. They're using
Yeah.
keywords in their description and in their title and on the cover. And for some, like if you want to be polished, more polished, you could do that in your branding, right? Like it doesn't have to be this big, like loud, gross thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It will. Mm-hmm. And it's more important to be, you want to be perfect in your grammar and spelling, dear God, okay?
Yes,
But
please.
it's more important to have it done than to have it be the most polished thing in the whole wide world. And don't do anything that you don't like.
Yeah.
Like that's the beauty of this. You can
You're
make
comfortable
all of
with
this
it.
like just exactly how you are, right? And like so and it does take a while to get comfortable with this because like it is everyone hates themselves on video. Everyone hates the sound of their voice, right? It's like science or something. It just doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like people, if you say or you stutter or
You can remove
anything,
those
like
too.
people
Again, the
just want to see
Microsoft
you.
that you can remove those.
You can, but if you remove all of them, then it sounds like a little robotic. So like a little and ah here and there isn't a bad thing. But again, it's just more important to just be out there and just show your personality. Like I had a really hard time with this being authentic, where I used to get on videos and I do this sometimes, but like I would be like, oh my God, like blah, 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 like bing, bang, bong. I do say bing, bang, bong a lot in real life. But I would be just over the top and I would watch myself and I'm like that's not who I am. And so it's taken months for me to like take it down a notch and just talk like a normal human. So I mean, once you start getting on video, which again, yeah, I do it a lot. So, and it's okay to be like over the top, right? And it's okay to be mellow. It's basically, so, okay, I heard a really good quote the other day, and it was, when you think about authenticity, it is how can you show up as the best possible version of yourself every day, right? So if that's kind of like a mellow person, but that's the same person somebody's going to meet in real life, do that. Like it's just whoever you are, and you are going to have some cringy stuff go out there. So just, not everybody's going to like everything, and that's okay.
You have time
Uh,
for another
yeah,
question?
yeah.
I'm wondering what the relationship still is with Facebook and YouTube, because I love to have my library of videos on YouTube, and I like to drive traffic to my YouTube channel by linking my videos to Facebook and then creating posts. But I know Facebook doesn't like to be taken away from Facebook to go to YouTube. Is that still happening?
Yeah, they hate that.
What's that about?
So
I need
it's
to
just
get
because
beyond
they
that.
want you to stay on the platform. But what you could do, like, how long are the videos?
That could be anything. Like maybe I'm saying, if you want a training in such and such, and personal brand style or something like that. It could be training, or it could be a 5.
You can download them from YouTube, and you can natively upload those into
I
Facebook.
have them on my computer, so I could.
Yeah.
My question is you still think it's better to upload from my computer directly into Facebook? And
Or
maybe say if you want more of these, but then I can't put a link in the content because I don't get dinged for that. I
Yeah.
put it in the-
Could you do a Bitly? Like, do you think a Bitly would still read the same?
yeah. I would, if you have a little bit of budget, I would just boost posts like that. Like if you're really wanting to grow your YouTube and drive traffic there from Facebook, just spend a little bit of money. It doesn't have to be like a huge amount. You could do like $20 or $50, and just kind of drive traffic there if you really want to do that.
Because paying for an ad on Facebook would override whether or not it has.
Oh yeah, if you're paying for ads, do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you're boosting posts, just do whatever. This is just like,
Is
but
there,
if
is there a formula for boosting that is like is it better to boost the authentic like things, or is it better to boost like a ad?
it depends on bandwidth, right? Because like you can make an ad and it's separate from boosting, but Facebook will have you make like 3 different like versions of it for aspect ratios. So like one will be square, one will be horizontal, one will be vertical. So that can be kind of like time consuming. But you can get way better like audience targeting within the ads manager.
Time's up.
Yeah. We're done. No. I boost things that would be considered promotional, right? So like if or like something that has some sort of goal behind it, like I don't just boost to boost.
Like a call to action.
Yeah. And then you want to do it for at least 4 days, but really like if you can do 7 to 10 days, that helps Facebook get out of the learning phase. So it's better to do slightly longer than shorter. It'll tell you on the thing if you try to do a 2-day boost, it's like, hey, don't do that. And then it'll also give you budget recommendations, so which I don't always follow. So like usually I go lower because like Facebook's like, oh, spend $25 a day, and I'm like, I'm not doing that, you know. So like even a few dollars. Yeah.
So do hashtags take away? Would that be the same as sending somebody to a link?
I'm so glad you mentioned hashtags. No, they don't take away, but honestly, hashtags don't do a lot anymore. That's another dead giveaway with AI. It'll use so many hashtags. You don't really need to use them. You can, but like the Instagram CEO came out a couple months ago and he's like, hashtags don't do anything. Like, it's not going to help your reach. It's basically, when you think about hashtags, it's more about grouping common things together. So like, we'll use them on the chamber a lot, like Colorado Springs networking, right? Because then if somebody types in Colorado Springs networking, hopefully one of our posts will pop up. So if you have like a keyword or a location that you're targeting, I use like my company name, so I'll use Red Door Social like in all of my stuff. And if you don't use hashtags, it's totally fine. They don't really do anything besides group content together. If you do use hashtags, like 2 to 3 tops. I really appreciate you all coming and having such great questions and letting me talk for so long about my favorite thing.
Thanks, Lauren. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.